Hello, I'm Uta Mueller, and in 2018 I'm here at the Atlantic Book Awards and Festival. And here is one of the award winners, David Huebert, and he has written a wonderful book about Nova Scotia and about animals. Please tell me something about this book.
Well, it's a collection of 8 short stories, all of which are based in Nova Scotia. They take place in Nova Scotia, mostly Halifax, and it's about each short story has a different animal that features prominently in it, and it's about our relationship with non-human life. It's about the ocean. It's kind of a love song for the ocean, for the North Atlantic Ocean, and it's about characters from oil workers to submariners to prison guards, and grappling with intense moments of conflict in their lives and how they respond emotionally to that. And always lurking beneath the stories is the joy and terror of non-human world.
And what function do the animals have in these stories?
Well, it varies, but usually it's a connection of love. So there's a person who's very close to her horse, for example, and it's about so there's a person that's very close to her horse. There's also whales feature very prominently in the novel, humpback whales, the song of the humpback whale, and it's what I'm interested in are the ways that love is one of the great themes of literature, right? But we don't often think about love for non-human animals. We don't always have a language to express love for non-human animals. So that's one of the themes I'm very focused on in the collection, trying to explore how to express that love.
And do the animals have a special language?
Well, yeah, the humpback whales, for example, have a very complex language of their own. The song of the humpback whale is a very well-known example of animal communication. Yeah.
And do you go to see to have research?
Yeah, one of the first story in the book, part of it is based on a whale watching trip that I did, which I highly recommend, down on the Digby Spit in the south of Nova Scotia. Yeah, so you can go see whales yourself, and that was a transformative moment for me because I spent a lot of time thinking about loss, about extinction, about threats to animal life. But when you go out on the boat and you actually see the giant creature down there in the ocean, it's a very refreshing and rejuvenating aesthetic experience. And that's one of the things that I tried to capture in the book. Yeah.
And what animal do you like most?
Well, most of my friends are human. So that's a pretty good animal. Yeah, has its problems, but yeah.
And you told me before that you have a special topic in your PhD.
Yes. Yeah, I'm working on animals in American literature in my PhD. So it's a interest that affects both my scholarly and my creative work. Yeah.
And I think your topic represents Nova Scotian life because Nova Scotian people love the nature and perhaps love their animals.
That's true. It's a huge part of growing up here is being immersed in nature and the non-human world. I live in Ontario now, and it's a very impoverished place in terms of ecology. So when you fly into Nova Scotia, you see forests and forests and forests and forests. But when you fly into Ontario, you see malls and malls and malls and malls and cars and cars and cars. So that's a very refreshing thing about this place.
And are there bears or moose or deers in your storybook here?
There's actually, most of Nova Scotia doesn't have any moose. Yeah, they're mostly there's some up towards New Brunswick, but they're mostly in New Brunswick. There's dogs, there's horses are very important, there's no deer or moose, no. Yeah, sorry.
Perhaps your next story will about deers and moose and bears. Thanks a lot for the interview. Uta Mueller at the Atlantic Book Awards.